Woo! What's up? What's good? What's good? It's kind of funny that nowadays we see a lot of people take shots at people. Even after they pass, even if their situations change. You have Jamal Bryant, who you probably recognize from in Baltimore, the Empowerment Temple, and then he took over Bishop Eddie Long's church in Atlanta. Like, I'm going to speak on this clown and many other clowns like him who happen to ruin the black church. See, the black church is the biggest show on earth. The black church is the biggest joke on earth. You have a bunch of people in that church listening to him, and how can you still be a pastor and you fathered 2 babies out of wedlock while cheating on your wife? How? You were a joke in Baltimore, and you damn sure a joke in Atlanta. And we already know about Atlanta, the land of lonely bitches. A good percent of those women down there having babies from a bunch of homosexual men. Of course, they're going to love you down there. You see, this is the part about the only way you're going to be loved in the black community is kissing ass. You try to say, well, women over 35, who is he to tell you he values? He got to get a GoFundMe to bury him. Really? Really? This clown is one, no real man should be pocket watching. But yet, you didn't even want to pay child support for your out-of-wedlock children. And they said there's possibly up to 5 women you impregnated. But of course, it will be very fitting for a joke like you to take over for Bishop Eddie Long's trifling ass. I don't even know how a church like that still exists. They should have shut that damn thing a minute ago. The worst part about it, y'all heard all the accusations and allegations against Bishop Long, and then you turn around, black women, and you make him a king, quote and unquote. Crown him a king. I mean, I get tired of so many stupid people telling me shit that really. Let me stop. But then you go up here on Mother's Day, give a sermon. Instead of actually giving a sermon to the mothers and doing what you do, you got to take a crap on a deceased man, Kevin Samuels. You know, there's a lot of ancient people out here in the world, and a lot of them are the men and women of the cloth sometimes. You were a joke during the riots when the dude down at the project cussed you out. and literally punked you and made you move and get the hell out of the community. Why? Because guys like you are jokes. It's okay to get donations and money for empty promises. It's okay to be contradictory. To the fact that you're supposed to be a faithful husband. It's okay that you can go from Baltimore to Atlanta and they accept you as a pastor. But instead of telling these women that y'all need to get your shit together to be married, you're gonna fucking patronize them, baby them. Oh, who said you don't have value? The men who pick or don't pick you say what your value is. AB Media said Charles Salter Jr., quiet as it is, kept. The Bible talks about Jamal Bryant. It's the false prophet. You know them by their fruit, or out of wedlock kids in his case. See, I remember BGS made this statement. You know, a lot of these people in social media and in the mainstream are going to come to this space. And my response to him was, let them come. Let them come. You see, these are the representatives of the enemy. Since we going by biblical terms with the old pastor, how many times has it been stated when the enemy comes to kill, steal, and destroy? You're trying to kill the legacy of a Kevin Samuels. You're trying to steal the money that was generated through hard work. And you're trying to destroy a lot of the red and black pill principles that men have developed in this gynocentric time. We don't like to tell the truth about a lot of this shit because, one, like a great uncle with me told me one time about Jamal Bryant, they were like, you know, God said, don't touch my chosen. I said, what God said that? Who said that this man's a holy man? Whoever said God even chose them? See, that's the key thing that we need to say. Why would God choose somebody like you? Why? You're not spreading the gospel, but you're doing a damn good job spreading your seed. You want to keep women in this delusional state that keeps them from getting married or being in profitable relationships. Because you know if that woman had a man, she wouldn't be able to spend that tithe money in church. Because that man would say, hey, baby, we got to save our money to get this house. we can't give all this money to this preacher man because he's already got a big ass house. And it's not like I don't know you. Empowerment Temple. And I'm looking at them real side-eye because they should have got rid of your ass a long time ago. The sick, sad part about it is, you know damn well that you're going to make a lot of money being a black pastor who kisses ass. And you're going to be able to do all of your debaucherous shit without being checked, without being controlled. So I say, what good are you? You're talking about people like Kevin Samuels. You're talking about people in the manosphere. Each and every time I see one of you jokes come up there, well, this guy's not a half value man. And I look at the ridiculousness of this whole situation of you trying to talk ill of the dead, but yet, how many times have you yourself been exposed for the fraud that you are? I don't get it. People like you can't leave well enough alone, and you constantly put your own damn foot in your mouth. It's quite sickening, actually. I don't know what's worse, the gynocrats or the men that fucking baby them, the men that pander to them. Why don't they have a whole conference full of Derrick Jackson and Jamal Bryant? Y'all on the same shit anyway. Talk some real bullshit and then go cheat on your wife. Conference. What's the fucking point? Well, I gotta tell the women that they somebody special. How the hell are you gonna make improvements by still babying everybody? You still don't put reality out there, man. And I don't expect you to, because that's gonna kill your dollar. I hope the people in Atlanta enjoying you because they got ripped off. But then again, you wonder why there are no black men in church, because we all know it's a fucking joke. We all know it's a fucking joke. It's the place where single mothers go and be forgiven for their debaucherous lifestyle. It's where nothing get accomplished. It's a place where all this mysticism happens. There's nothing Christian about it. There's nothing communal about it. How many of these mega churches actually built schools in the community? How many of these mega churches actually put young men to work, gave scholarships to young men, opened up grocery stores? built institutions of learning. All you do is siphon money out the damn community, and then you get jokes like this to represent you. Y'all can keep that shit, man. I want you to really think. When's the last time in your mind black men profited for going to black church? And then when you go, they pretty much shitting on you. Oh, what was that clip where they said any single brother here stand up? So the brother stood up. They said, "Do we have any single mothers in here?" And the single mother stood up. The pastor said, "Y'all brothers need to marry these women." And you know what the brothers did? They walked out the damn church. No longer are men gonna be fucking sitting there and being cannon fodder and daddy of the day for a bunch of women who let ill-gotten souls ejaculate in them. No longer the cleanup man. No longer the cleanup man. I got a debate on Facebook today. Hell, a few minutes before this shit. You got a bunch of women trying to say, well, the fathers ain't leave. You bitches chose welfare. You chose welfare over your working men. It's not like Arda Vitmore and BGS and other people haven't gone over the Monahan report. And you'll lie. You'll sit there and lie. That's the worst part about it. You'll lie about this shit. Just be honest. A lot of you had babies by guys you didn't even want to really be in a relationship with, and you just ended up pregnant. But you'll go to church and all's forgiven. You come to church, all forgiven. It's amazing how you want black men to take second hand-me-down people, but he's got to have his shit together to deal with her. Pick a struggle. Every time I ask a chick, why aren't you with your children's father? Oh, he was an asshole. So you pick assholes, right? Now, every relationship's not perfect, but something has to give. And what happens is a lot of people are not telling the truth. And we looking at this guy, Jamal Bryant, and he constantly has to do this dumb shit in the media. And each and every time he gets confronted, he gets punked out. I think it's fucking hilarious. I truly do. I think it's rather hilarious. You constantly get this dumbass. Oh, we gotta rub off of Kevin Samuels' name. Assalamu alaikum, Philip. Yeah, he is a piece of work, a piece of excrement. You go up here and try to badmouth a man who just passed just to please the harpies in your congregation. And this is how I know the black church is done. Not one of them motherfuckers told you that was in bad taste. Not one of them told you, yo, that was low. But we live in this culture where it's do as I feel. Have no class. But then you look real confused when you get into a scandal and you have no allies. It's actually disturbing that they would allow you to still be the pastor of any church. I wouldn't give you a pulpit on a playground. You know, do as you feel, but not as you should. I'm really getting tired of this punk assery that's happening, especially since the passing of our brother Kevin Samuels. Whether if you agree what he said or not, the guy was still a respectable black man. Hell, he was a black man, period. And it's very shameful that other black men got to drag him through the mud, even after his death, just to get the acknowledgement of a bunch of harpies. That's disturbing. You're supposed to be the man of the cloth, a man of integrity, a man of character. But see, cowards like it when heroes fall. They smile when the hero goes through some type of, tribulations. Because what you did was some real punk ass shit, some real cowardly shit. I keep saying this. When that goddamn feminist Bell Hooks died, not one black man said shit about her. Which is fucking amazing. Not one. We didn't do live streams shitting on Bell Hooks. We kept whatever the fuck we thought about her to our goddamn selves, even though, yes, she was a piece of shit towards black men. Respectfully. Jay Sean said Jamal was preaching this gossip. And see, I'm going to say this again to every black man and black woman listening. If you're a part of this black manosphere space, each time they insult Kevin, they're really insulting you as well. Because if you share the same talking points in ideology, they don't like you either. They don't like you either. What we promote marriage and strong families, look at all the detractors. It's the wannabe divestors. You're not really going to any other race of men. You're just getting fucked and left. It's the simps who's trying to make $1 off the women. It's the simps who trying to sleep with the women but can't have the character or the courage to actually get women the old-fashioned way. It's the bitter broads of America. Those are the people who have an issue with the talking points of the black manosphere. I never seen too many married women had an issue with Kevin. They were like, he's right. But you and all my Baltimorean glory. Oh, trust me, I've met you before, and I pretty much told you you were a piece of shit to your face, respectfully. In a respectful manner. You're a piece of shit. How you going to tell me that I'm living wrong and what you're doing? And Kevin even told you there are some suit wearing pookies. He's one of them. He's one of them. Look what happens when you give a man a congregation of the character of a Jamal Bryant. You had to take over already a corrupt church that Bishop Eddie Long had. And this tells you about the leadership of the church. It's so damn weak and it's so damn pathetic. You're right, Philip D. Burden. It was just another day. You got this church who's already been under fucking news under some bullshit of a weird ass, wild ass pastor. But you know what? Y'all celebrate that shit. You secretly like that shit. Atlanta used to be a real slick place. Now you basically a Sodom and Gomorrah. This is the reason why black politics and black religion is such a joke. See, gone are the days of Malcolm and Martin, man, where the black church used to galvanize, used to incentivize, organize. Literally, civil rights was born out of black churches. Look how far we've fallen. Because the government figured out a way in a loophole to give money to faith-based initiatives, these pastors or these religious institutions turn a blind eye to bullshit. Won't speak out against injustice, won't speak out against mass incarceration, won't speak about police brutality, won't speak about single mothers, won't speak about shit that can actually get the community up again. But it's okay for your pastor to shit on a man who was trying to promote marriage while he was trying to get a little extra change in the collection plate. You keep this shit. What's up, Nino? If I was chewing ribs, I would still do it in the mic. I don't give a shit. You here listening? Enjoy the ribs. Nino said it's a money scheme at the New Birth Baptist Church. I hate to say it, but even T.I. called it out when Jamal Bryant tried to pocket watch him for donations during Kanye West service. Damn shame. The black church ain't do nothing to help the black community, and this is why I keep my distance and my money. You can't have my 10%. Look, since I started watching y'all, I got good credit. I'm about debt free. Men approach me. Some just walk up, take their wallets out. Yeah, you're right. They mad. You goddamn right. And see, this is the point that I make, Jackie. When you listen to men on how to get men, you ever notice the success rate is through the fucking stratosphere? Be nice, friendly, and feminine. I never seen a nice, friendly, and feminine and fit woman not get the men she wants to approach her. But if you leave it to these damn black pastors, you good woman. You 350 pounds and 4'11". A man is gonna come for you. He gonna be tall and light skinned with cornrows just for you. Here's the crazy part, right? Here's the crazy part. My sugar levels are immaculate, Namer. Thank you for asking. Here's the crazy part, right? How many times do these congregations even look at the health and wealth of their fucking congregation? Why should I get denied for a business loan when all I need to do is go to my church? All I need to do is go to my church. Why can't the church facilitate funds for business? Wait a minute. You telling me this whole time we could have been given loans for housing, business, schooling, but not one person is ever going to question that money. Oh, I got to give God his money. Really? The sad part about it is, right, a lot of these mega churches are building $5 and $10 million buildings in the damn hood, raising up the property tax. For some odd reason, grandma and grandpa can't afford their homes, who live around them going to that church. Grandma and grandpa get short on bills, and they go to the church for help, and the church could have the audacity to say, when the last time you tithed? You've been holding money back from God. Well, I couldn't pay the tithe because, I got behind bills because I was sick. Think about that. Yeah, black woman. This is Derek Jackass. And guess what? I'm going to be as muscular and chocolate and pandering just for you. I know that you ain't shit. I know that you probably had a baby on this nigga and said it was his, and you still took the man to child support, knowing goddamn well that was 3 other niggas' baby. But you know what? You still a queen. Excuse me. Let me stop that Derek Jackass impression. Yeah. You got the preacher man and the ushers really telling the elderly and the people who are hard up. Well, I don't know. You got to be a member and you haven't been tithing, so I don't know if we can give you the money. Philip said, definitely the Jesus concept when it comes down to black women and the pastor, reverend, etc. in the church, he could do no wrong, even when he does wrong right in front of their faces. Why? Why? Because they hope that he's the one he's doing wrong with. And that's the issue. That's the goddamn issue. They hope that he's doing wrong with them. Well, the pastor, he's doing something real good. For who? Himself? Not one damn person from off a damn committee has ever said you need to step down. You are not following the principles of this Bible. You need to step down. You know why? Because all you have left in church are a bunch of cowardly motherfuckers and not even the right type of sinners, the people who still want to commit their sins. It's disgusting, man. It's disgusting. Nino said a lot of those women are hoping the pastor picks them to cheat with, even if he's married. So yeah, and that I say he could do no wrong. They just want all what's under that robe. And then you forgot Jamal Bryant got a girl pregnant at what, 17, 18 years old? But yet, this is the same man influencing black women that they still hold value when they have kids, when they're too damn old. Like, look, you're not settling, baby. You just seeing where the water meets. A lot of you just upset. It's no different than when I told this one chick, about women not being married after a certain age. Men look at you weird. You never been married? Well, what if she doesn't want to be married? It looks weird. I love my Aunt Trisha. She never was married, never had kids. It looked weird. Sorry, I loved her. May she rest in peace, but it looked weird. When women don't have any children and never been married, it looks weird after a certain age. It does. It's one thing if you're like in your 20s, but after 35, probably after 40, and you've never been in a real relationship, it's weird. How can I take you seriously? I'm sorry. The world just looks at us different as men and women, just like a man who never worked a day in his life. It looks weird. Yeah, there's a lot of pedos who mess with their in the church, man. See that? See, that's the fucked up part, right? We always talk about perverts, but if you put a robe on and you talk in front of a pulpit, you're not considered a pedo. You just don't. Philip said that's what the deacons are for. They're supposed to check a pastor when he's doing wrong. But they feminize the church so much, so you're right. Matter of fact, here's the fucked up part, Philip. The deacons are in on it too. They sharing the lots. The ill-gotten money, the women. Oh, it's all kinds of bullshit. Trust me, Namer, this wasn't black church tradition. This some new age shit here. You couldn't do this type of shit in the old school black church. There was a division, okay? A division between secular and the black church. Yep, the freaking deacon. There was a division where you had a child out of wedlock, and the people of the congregation knew they would say something to your parents and to the man you had one by, and y'all would have to get married or leave that damn church. Because you're not going to come in. You're not going to come in and influence the young women of the church with your behavior. See, back then, men held everybody accountable. Shotgun wedding anybody? You're going to make an honest woman out of my daughter. JLJ, what's up? Longo, what's up? Electrician, what's up? You're right. And when he got her pregnant, he didn't want to pay nothing, no child support, didn't even want to claim the boy. But that's a responsible man, right? See, the black church shows you where the power lies in the black community. These women will support these pastors day in and day out, not say one damn thing, and then wonder why so many men left. Because it's a joke. It's disgusting. I can trace my people's Christian belief all the way to the 4th century. The clergy and their families were part of the community and were held accountable as everybody else, as by everybody else. So that's how it used to be. That's how it used to be. You know, I look at my good buddy from kindergarten and pre-K, Dr. Burrow Whipple, Morehouse graduate, has a master's in business and a doctorate in theological studies. We actually had the same birthday, so we go back way, way, it's like, shoot, almost 40 years. Remember that. See, when you speak to him about Christianity, he actually takes it seriously. And he's about to get married to a woman he's been engaged with for 2 years. What's up, electrician? Thanks for the super sticker. Woo! See, men like him, we can respect in the community who take it seriously, who has a youth outreach, takes time to mentor people, takes time to pray for the sick, takes money out the pocket in a collection to feed the hungry. Whatever happened to that? You got mega churches popping up. And how many times you fall upon bad times and you need a pick me up? Can that church provide? Is that church really for the people? See, the church was supposed to be our moral compass. It was supposed to be giving the parameter of how you should be living your life. All it is now is just a club where instead of a DJ, you got an organ player. Look what happened when church was no longer taken seriously. I'm not sure. I'll look into it. Think of that. You got people twerking in church on the at the pulpit, on stage, church twerking. See, I'm not gonna lie to you. Do I like women and scantily dressed women? Yes, but it's a time and a place. We used to call that the holy place. You didn't come in there looking like you were just about to get on a stripper pole. You didn't have your pants sagging in church. You didn't have a woman with a bunch of kids unwedded. But this is the shit y'all chose. But here it is. You got to look down upon Kevin Samuels, which, trust me, he's a way more accomplished man than most. And instead of saying you should listen to this man because he's telling y'all the God honest truth, you shit on him because you just want those women, those ladies' dollars. Oh man, I hope not. Man, I hope not. And Longo said, used to go to a wannabe mega church. Deacon got up during the service and came to the mic. and asked the congregation to chip in, getting past a new Benz. That was my last Sunday there. Exactly. Oh, fuck Creflo Dollar too. Fuck him. Want to get a fucking jet, a private jet. In the front row with 5 out of wedlock kids. You damn right. But the pastor says you need to marry them. Black man, if you listen to the sound of my voice, nobody gives a fuck about how you feel. Nobody cares that you might want to start your own family fresh. But you should marry them women. You know how the women are treating their, but not one damn time you'll hear the pastor say, "Give them children to their father." Huh? Huh? Not one damn time. He said, "Why are you taking that good man who's been good to those kids? Why are you taking them down to child support to get an increase because you're bitter? Why are you keeping the kids away from that man because you're hurting? He doesn't want nothing to do with you because you're trifling. He just wants his kids." You'll never hear the fucking black church stand up for that. It's really a den of sin. We ought to be glad that Malcolm and Martin was not alive today, because they probably would have spit in a lot of these pastors' faces. No revolution, no charity. It's just disgusting. So much so to the point where I don't even know why. Why do people constantly try to poke fun at guys over here, but you can't even get your shit right in church? Disgusting. The only thing you're going to get out of church is hope. What am I going to get for that hope? Am I going to get a Christian school built? Am I going to get a tutoring program established? Am I going to get some type of opportunity where I can work and earn a good living and wage? No. No. I'm looking at these congregations, especially the Jamal Bryant one when he had the Mother's Day sermon, and these women jumping up and down like it was ordained by God that to punish him because he spoke the truth about black women. No, you can't speak the truth about them. If they get a man, they ain't gonna come back. See, they never ever preach about you being unwed and unprotected and uncovered. They never talk about you being a better parent. They want to talk about you a queen. The queen of what? Damnation? It's always a queen, but yet a queen is supposed to be elegant. A queen is nothing without a king. I don't even get it. I truly don't even get it. It is sad. These are the people who are supposed to invoke positive change. Mm-mm-mm. I don't even know. I don't see. I'm starting to see BGS's point. Should we let this motherfucker go? Should we let this motherfucker go? Yeah, do you know? Think about it. You got this Negroid talking ill shit about him in the favor of women. Well, he needed to go fund me to find it. Oh, he didn't. It's always some fucking lies. Tell the goddamn truth for some time. Well, Kevin Samuels told a woman. No, you didn't even watch an episode. You heard it. Anybody who watched Kevin can pinpoint exactly what happened. But yet, not one person can pinpoint what did Jamal Bryant do when he was a pastor in any community. He didn't do shit in Baltimore. As a matter of fact, like I said earlier, he went to the fucking what was it, Mount Street Projects, I believe, and he was punked. The streets will tell the truth. The intellectuals are watching. I really want to know. Mm-mm-mm. Who wants to get on this panel real quick? Or do I just call it a night? I don't know how long I might be up. Because I'm really sick and tired of this bullshit. I'm sick of everybody trying to kick a man while he's down or dead. I'm sick of everybody trying to debunk fucking facts. I swear to God, if you're friends with me on Facebook, hit me up in the inbox and I will tag your ass in these conversations and look at real time of what these women say about you. That's the fucked up part, right? What's up?
Greetings.
Uh, I tell you, I'm getting sick and tired of this shit. When Kevin passed, it showed a lot of ugliness.
You remember what I said about the hyena analogy?
It's disgusting. And I remember it too. It's just disgusting, Namer. It's
Do not
disgusting.
be, bro. As much as we gotta be angry, as much as we have a right to be angry, you sometimes have to detach yourself because You look at this shit and you'd be like, should I be surprised?
You never are. You're never going to
I
be.
have, I've seen so much shit in my own homeland. I've become so desensitized. So when I see some of this shit happening, I'm like, I'm not surprised. When you understand how certain people act, it's almost inevitable they're going to do something. And if they do something out of the ordinary, that's when you go like, wait a minute, what's going on here? Something's up. So, but, and for some of the guys just to like, all this young man is doing is just joining the bandwagon. Have you even heard of the man, first of all? Charles? Charles, can you unmute yourself for a minute?
Yep.
Here's my question. First of all, this Jamal Bryant, whatever his name is, had he actually ever heard of Kevin Samuels before? Or was this the only time he's ever speaking?
Of course. You'd be surprised who watches our spaces. You'd be surprised.
Mm-hmm. All right. Because this is the first time I've ever heard of this individual, and usually I don't really stick my nose into church business and what.
I talked about Jamal Bryant's stupid ass before. Not much, but before.
I don't remember. I could be wrong. But anyway, I'm like, first of all, you talk ill of the dead from the pulpit? Inside.
Yeah, pretty much.
See, right there, that's a big no-no. You do not speak ill of the dead in the pulpit because you're supposed to say, when they die, leave that to God. You're in no position. When you come up and say that shit, I guess we should all be like Samson in the book of Kings and say, fuck it, let's tear this Philistine temple down. Like when he knocked those two pillars down and brought the roof off on all of them. Because you look at them and say that if he's, reviling the dead from the pulpit, you just have to look at them and say, is there anything that's still sacred? So instead of, and like I said earlier, like Malcolm, if MLK was still alive, he'd look at this and be like, he would have, chastised many. A lot of them would not have started this type of dollar hustle and whatnot. In fact, it was Eddie Griffin. Eddie Griffin for years talked about why he doesn't go to church, because he said basically going back to the 80s, a lot of those preachers, those who are right now like in the 60s and 70s, a lot of them used to be pimps. And when the crack epidemic came, pimping was dead. I mean, if anybody remembers, like the Wayans Brothers, when they had the movie "Don't Be a Menace to South Central" while drinking juice in the hood, you had that scene in the church. Charles? Charles, can you unmute yourself for a minute?
I was working on something.
Oh, sorry. Did you listen to anything? Did you listen to what I was saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember the Wayans Brothers? They had that movie "Don't Be a Menace to South Central while drinking juice in the hood."
Of course.
They had that. You remember the scene where they were mocking the church, where the deacon was like, just blatantly open about his, about why he was so corrupt and everything. Or like the two grandmothers that were having a breakdancing battle.
Yeah.
That was my favorite scene. The two grandmothers doing the breakdancing battle.
I mean, that's basically what church became now. You got a bunch of women dancing against each other.
Well, before we continue, blessed be the memory of Helen Martin. That woman was quite the comic.
Oh,
if anybody remembers something on, she was the elderly grandmother from 227. If anybody remembers that show.
Oh yeah, that was a classic. She had very good comedy chops. See, you look at these guys like a Jamal Bryant, who's
Mhm.
been. I just look at that his whole skilo from being in Baltimore and being a fucked up pastor here, and you take over Bishop Eddie Long's church. That's like you would think they would want to
Wait,
stay
wait, wait,
away
wait,
from.
wait, 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 wait. Eddie, hide your sons. Eddie, hide your sons long.
Oh yeah, he's trying to whistle in a boy's rectum. No,
Oh, damn.
you would think
Now
that
that now,
place.
now that tells you something because look at all the younger preachers you see. Where did they learn the hustle from?
Hmm,
Who were their inspiration? How many
hmm.
men do you know who are on that who about this preaching hustle, this mega church hustle, who were inspired or influenced by Creflo Dollar?
Creflo, give me your dollars. I don't.
I
I
mean,
don't get it.
I got cousins, right? Many of them are like born again Christians, but they left the Orthodox Church and went into like some of these like evangelical churches and shit. And I've been warned about that. I've been there, and I was like, fortunate because I have PTSD. I remember going to one of their sermons that scared the hell out of me. Then again, but I remember
Yeah.
one of them was like showing like a clip of Creflo Dollar, and I saw that shit. I said, no, 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 stay away from that person. I mean, only like so-called mega church, whatchamacallit, revivalist I could ever respect was a guy named Jimmy Swagger. Although he was compelled to, but he had at least had the balls to come clean about his bullshit.
I believe. I have sinned.
Hey, do you remember Ted Haggard,
Mm-hmm.
who got busted he got busted and then he said like, to hide the fact that he got busted with a gay prostitute and fucking with crystal meth, he said like, Satan tested you, dude. Who tempts
Wow.
you with a man ass?
Wow.
Satan was
Like
tempting you. I said, really?
See, it was tempting you. You look quite at home. You look quite at home.
I mean, what do you think? What do you think? As much as everybody hates this dude, there was a reason why R. Kelly, yes, that R. Kelly,
Mm-hmm.
had a musical drama called In the Closet. And what did we find out about the pastor in all that?
Mm.
He goes to the door. It's gonna be my head. He opens the door. I'll be goddamn it's a man.
And guess what? You go to even if you went to church, you go to church right now. There's a high probability your pastor's trying to fuck your wife or your girlfriend.
What was it that Eddie Griffin said about that? Because like when he had the jokes about Eddie Long, he said, first of all, that doesn't sound like a black church. Because white church, they try to fuck your son. Black church, fuck your wife. But both churches try to mess with your daughter.
Yep. You can't leave your wife. Oh, she going to the women's parade. She's going to the women's study. Yeah, that's where the pastor really gets to lay hands on a woman. Make sure she's a good woman, a good wife. Why isn't your wife doing that?
Brother, if like Eddie said, like Eddie Griffin once said, if your wife is sitting in the front row of church every Sunday, nigga, is Reverend Dick him down? Who's she looking at? I mean, I don't blame people not want to go to the churches anymore. I don't blame y'all. I mean, it's like a lot of people say, I don't go to church because I'm trying to save my money. How do I know that money that we donate isn't being siphoned off or some shit like that? How do we know it's not still in the community? I mean, I remember churches. My grandmother, who's still a member of, every November, the community would come together because they celebrate the church is opening. And the whole community would come down, everybody would come over. We have, everybody, we had a lot of food, festivities and whatnot, but the clergy there, I remember they were never this corrupt. I mean, I'm talking about an Orthodox tradition. The priests only married, allowed to marry once in their lives, to have children. But they understand the importance of being part of the community. And I guess that's just a reflection of the culture. And I guess it's just that, black churches in America, they're just a reflection of the culture, the community they're part of. I mean, you got churches, you got liquor stores, especially in rough neighborhoods. And what is this that, you got to ask yourself, how much hatred is there for such an individual? Joshua Munn, I would not be surprised, because JLJ 504HC, you're not kidding. I would not be surprised. Joshua Munn, I don't know about who's going to heaven first.
That would be an interesting. That would be an interesting concept, really. Because one, I look at this hypocrisy that goes through the Christian faith in America right now. I won't even say it's the Christian faith. I'll just say it's the black church, or many churches, period. You get these great big congregations.
I don't know if I could set foot in a church ever again. I mean, I look at big churches and I get a little. I know they're supposed to be humbling, but going to a mega church, I'm like, why do you need the mega church? I mean, hello, Harley.
Hey, can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
All right, all right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Continue, brother.
What's up? What do you think about this whole? Hey, how you been?
I'm all right, man. How you been doing?
Chilling. What's your take on this whole Jamal Bryant black church? We gotta shit on people like Kevin Samuels. We gotta speak ill on the dead. And what's your take of black church? What's your experience about it?
Well, first of all, I was born and raised in the church. As a matter of fact, I was born and raised in the Church of God in Christ, and it has the church itself, the black church in particular, has changed over the years. As a kid in the mid to late 70s, 80s, there was all about family unity, marriages staying together. If Deacon Smith was, messing around with Sister Williams, They got pulled on the carpet for that. They got pulled out for that. Also, too, um, you didn't have this feminist talking points in the black church, and that didn't start happening until about the 90s, going up to the new millennium in 2000. Actually, that's when I stopped going to church. I was at a church one time, um, and the pastor, his messaging was so towards women and single women. I mean, basically, what you hear now from in books and magazines and advertisement towards black women, uh, the sale pitch, because they know that black women are the biggest consumers of products. Basically, he was doing that in the church, and he was doing that for his own personal financial consumption. Notice the word I'm using is consumption. But fast forwarding to Kevin Samuels, okay, this pastor had to literally, and again, it's just because Kevin had a very big platform, and it was mainly because of a lot of women, uh, pastors like this pastor. What was his Jamal? Is it Jamal Brown? Is
Bryant,
that his name? Bryant.
Jamal
Okay,
Bryant.
thank you.
Jamal Bryant. He
Jamal,
came from
Jamal.
Baltimore, then he went down to Atlanta.
Okay. Well, think about that for a minute. Now he was in your city, right? Okay, and then he started a church down in Atlanta, and everybody knows that if you look at the population of Atlanta, it's majority made up of. When I hear brothers talking about, hey man, the ratio is like dang it on near like was it 17 to 1, and that's if you're a heterosexual male.
Oh yeah, even there's a lot of stories of Atlanta of women so desperate they have babies by gay men.
Okay, okay, but
Wait a minute,
to
isn't Atlanta home to the Freaknik?
Oh
yes
yeah,
sir.
remember? Trust me, when I went down to Atlanta to visit my then girlfriend, she went to Spelman. I was surrounded. I went to a restaurant and I was coming back from the war, and I was like, yeah, I was coming back and making small talk. I'm surrounded by seven fine motherfuckers because they were gonna put out there that hey, bitch, you slip, we taking your man. They are very bold in Atlanta. They will take your man right in front of you. But continue, electrician.
Well, the thing is also too, what I, and continue on what I was saying is that if you all recall the other night, we were talking, and you have a lot of men who are jockeying for to get women's attention, and this is another strategy that this pastor used to get women and make them quote unquote feel good. We talked about this the other night, is to make them feel good. So for them to feel good, you defecate on this man and his legacy, okay, or you made an attempt of it. And but see, that's been going on in the church. See, the thing what needs to really happen for the black church and for the black community to become powerful again, I'm about to throw something out. You may not agree or disagree with it. The thing is, if I was a pastor, right? If I was a pastor, I'm starting an all male church. I'm getting connections together. I'm networking with people. I'm going to provide job training for these men. I'm going to take these men off the streets. I'm going to see that they're about their health, mental health particularly. I'm going to see about have groups about from domestic violence to single ministry, what type of woman you're looking for. I would have a ministry. How will you succeed in corporate? How do you dress in corporate? That's one of the things that Kevin Samuels talked about. He got a lot of pushback from brothers talking about, hey man, you got to take the dreads off. I even took my dreads off. When the brother mentioned it, I took my dreads off. I had to look more professional. But if I was to start a church, that's where you would have to build your base up and have it be whereas this male church, these were hetero heterosexual men that are at these church whether they be single, divorced, married, didn't matter. And they go out and perform acts of Christian acts throughout the community. I mean, I'll give you another example. This church would have it where, hey, look, man, we coming in and we learning self-defense classes. We got Charles Faulkner, who was a military man, and he's going to teach us self-defense. You follow what I'm saying? I would have discipline and rule, because this would spread like wild. I believe it would spread like wildfire. So if you're going to talk about having a church, because right now a lot of the churches, a lot of these mega churches, they don't give a damn about you. All they care about is you put that money in that plate. So this, like we have, I live in the city of Detroit, so we have Keith Butler. Okay, he's got mega churches all over the place. He's got them here. He's got them 3 here, 1 down in Atlanta, 1 down in Arizona, 1 in Mississippi, Philadelphia. I think he even had 1 in your neck of the woods, Charles. If I'm not mistaken, I don't know. But
we had programs like that where the men would congregate with the men and the women would congregate with the women. There was no mixing. If you weren't married, no, you sat on one side. If you were interested, you had to go through the elders and the parents. You didn't sit next to a woman unless you were married to her.
Wow. I mean, but
here's my question. Since you brought up this whole thing about there should be like a ministry for helping heterosexual men, given how Black women pushed back and really derailed the whole My Brother's Keepers initiative, how big of a pushback do you think that would be if you tried a ministry like that, especially if they started throwing allegations of sexual grooming, homosexuality, and shit like that? You got to be prepared for all of that, for that smear campaign. You know what I'm saying?
Well, you're absolutely right, but Neymar, but the thing is, you're going to get pushback. You're going to get it. You're going to get it, brother. You're going to get it. You're going to get it regardless. But here's the thing about it. How would it be when you're starting to train? For example, here, I'll give you another example. In the city of Detroit, right, you have 47% of the citizens that live here who are functionally illiterate. Functionally illiterate. You see, and the bulk of that.
Can you please elaborate on that? Could you please explain that to me?
They can't read. They can't read. Period.
You said
can't
functionally.
Read.
Functionally.
Yeah, they function. They can function, but they are illiterate. They can't read. You got a lot of guys. Look, the dope boys here. A lot of them can't read past. Don't even have a 5th or 6th grade reading level.
Okay, I get it.
See what I'm saying? So what if you had in your your Christian ministry, hey, look, we got a problem with this, and you can. The thing about it, and I'm just using that as an example. You're going to get pushback from people. You're going to get pushed. Why can I? Well, in a church, you got to remember it's a nonprofit organization. You can run it. You can see fit, and you can decide who hey, it's tax free. But the thing, yes, that's how they get over a lot of times. But the thing about it is that your ministry is a men's ministry. What happened to the men's ministry that was back in the 90s? Promise Keepers. What happened to that?
I think it's that they were like they got derailed because they were like they were considered a men's rights activist group in a sense. And they were kind of derailed, even viewed by feminists as a hate crime, as a hate group or something like that, didn't they? I mean, think about it this. I mean, you're in Detroit. Do you remember, do you recall the Detroit 300?
Yes, I know about the Detroit, how they got dismantled. I know how they got dismantled. As a matter of fact, I go even one step further than that.
Were they like? I need some clarification on that, if you don't mind.
Because there were political groups who were made up of feminists who dissolved this group. In a nutshell, like, that's what happened.
But they were labeled like what?
We don't need you all to. It was basically, it came down to, we don't need you all to protect women's bodies. Now you got serial rapists, serial
Really?
murders. Yeah, man.
I
Here
mean, I
in the
keep
city of
going.
Detroit.
You know what? I keep going back and forth with this one chick. I wish I'm gonna put my send me. I'm gonna put it in the private chat. Send me. This is my name on Facebook.
I
And
got you, bro. I sent you a friend request.
okay, hit me up in the messenger because I'm gonna
Okay.
tag you in some of these conversations, right?
Okay.
I'm gonna tag you in some of these conversations. And I want you to see how these women talk about how basically I'm telling this woman, you do know women pick fathers and men pick wives. It's not the other way around. Well, what if the woman didn't choose you? She doesn't choose the husband. She doesn't get down on the knee. Men do. When women get down on their knee, they look pathetic. So it's just like a man who can't provide for a family. He looks pathetic. I don't make the rules. But yet, like you just said, you don't need us to protect the women. The fuck? the goddamn
Listen,
fuck.
bro, I'm gonna tell you, man. We just had a situation. Um, one of the articles that was written by a Latina woman celebrating Black women and their singleness, and it came out in Psychology Today. And the one of the women who were pushing this was a professor. I think no, I believe she's a professor here at a college in the city of Detroit, and the name of the college is Wayne State University. Okay, and the thing about this is that I'll give you an example. Um, the part of the problem is that with the 300 group, okay, they were going out and they were, and particularly on my old side of town, which is the east side of Detroit, they were going out and walking up and down the block. Now, if there was a crime that got committed, of a a sexual assault or something like that, they would patrol that neighborhood because what they were really doing, and a lot of these guys were on the Detroit Police Department, because what they were trying to do, they were trying to catch serial R word people. Okay, they were trying to catch these serial people that was forcing themselves on women. If there was a documentary on HBO that talked about these type of individuals, and if you all remember that, we had a warehouse that had these sexual assault cases that went back since the late 70s, sometime like 77. I mean, and they were sitting in the warehouse, and when they finally started doing the testing, they were finding that like 1 out of 5 or 1 out of 10, I can't remember, these guys were serials. They were serials. Okay. And
Wow.
what and yeah, that's one of the reasons why 300 came about, because they were like, look, man, we got not everybody's doing this, we just got a few bad apples in here doing it. That's why statistically, if you look at it, when it comes to the R word, okay, they said that the R culture is on college campuses. Well, we know that it happens, but it usually happens by one or two serial individuals. Okay, it happens, and I'm not discrediting that it doesn't happen. I'm saying that it does, but how they flipped it upside their head is like they were saying it happened. That's why one of the pictures, again, going back to Kevin, is that if you talk about this and you're a strong man, you're assertive man, you could be potentially one of these R peoples. Okay. And we know that's not true.
Oh, you know what? You know what? I'm glad you brought that up because look at it this way. What is the one thing they fear about Black men?
It's the same fear that white folks have said about us as being savage beast.
They always feared Black male sexuality in multiple
That's right.
aspects. That's why they was like quick to call, with Kevin gay and everything.
Yeah.
this smirk.
Yes.
And funny thing was, he even, because remember the LGBTQ, the rainbow folks, they hated Kevin. They made it adamant that they were not fans of his. Although I don't know what their issue was with him though. But it was okay for people to call him gay, and he's like, first of all, the LGBT community stamps out anybody calling anybody anything, this, that, and the third. But in my case, to just letting it go, somebody's sleeping. Because a group like GLAAD would not tolerate me being called this shit. And as far as black male sexuality goes, it's been like that for centuries. I mean, look at the entertainment industry. I remember, who was it? Like, you remember a guy named Terrence Trent D'Arby?
Vaguely.
You remember a song called "Wishing Well" back in the '80s?
Not. It does. It doesn't ring a bell.
Wishing well, we'll kiss and tell.
Kiss me out, I wish it well, kiss and tell. Oh, wish it well, a butterfly kiss. Wish me love, oh, wish it well, to kiss and tell.
Ladies and gentlemen,
I'm sorry, I'm going back to the '80s music, my man. But he made a comment back when he first came out. He made a comment that was really about being black, because he's a slight man himself. So it's just recent, like last year around this time he turned 60. So happy birthday to him. He's now 61 and still strong in the game. But he talks about how black male psychos, and I'm digressing, folks, but I'm gonna bring it back. It's just a detour. But he talks about how, like, in the '80s, like how Prince and Michael, they had to kind of hide their black male sexuality because everybody was always fearful of that black male sexuality and shit. And he was like, and when he was asked about that, he doubled down on it and said, "Yeah, that's what it was. That's how I saw it." But when Seal came out and they were allowed him to be himself, I was like, all right, but still, being a black male, you're always going to be seen in a certain light. And certain people try to cater and try to take advantage of it. And since we're talking about, how black male is feared and whatnot, I remember the movie Mandingo with Ken Norton Sr. I remember when I first got that DVD, I looked at the librarian, who's a white male, and we talked about this. I said, he's an older white man. I said, "You understand about the whole thing about stereotypes?" He said, "Yeah." And I was like, I'm just going to watch this and try to understand this shit. And when I did, I was like, oh, wow. But, it is what it is.
I also, what I was going to say is that's just kind of getting back to this pastor and him spewing this. Again, this is all confirmation for women and their black feminist Christianity ideology, and it just reinforces what they believe, what they have been taught on college campuses. Because a lot of sisters that go to church, hey, they went to school, okay, and they were exposed to a lot of these feminist talking points. And what these pastors are doing is that they're just using these messages. The funny thing about it is, you notice that a lot of these churches have a lot of women in them. But if you notice, if I went to one of my old church, just not too long ago, and the church is falling apart because you don't have any men to do the work like you used to, because you ran them all off. So that ought to tell you what's happening to the black church. That building structure is falling apart because the builders have left the building. Get that?
From now on, I want to be addressed as Placater Z. I'm gonna switch my channel up. I will be placating black women. You niggas ain't shit. Y'all need to build Wakanda tomorrow. Hop to it. You niggas ain't you niggas ain't shit. You need to get down on your knees and start eating out every fucking black woman you see right now. Right now. I mean, don't get pleasure from it. Actually, do get pleasure from it. Get pleasure from pleasuring her in any way possible. Give her your whole check. kiss ass, um, tell her what she want to hear, tell her she's the greatest thing that ever happened in the universe. Um, hey, I watched it. It was very clear what that was. You look at the congregation and you know what that is instantly, instantly. So we know what that is. Come on, man. And this is a
Secondly,
brother. Go ahead, go ahead.
secondly, Z, when you think about it, even this Harley, uh, is that you realize that just everybody's just jumping on the bandwagon because everybody's just
Hmm.
bringing his shit up just to make themselves relevant.
Hmm.
If
Well,
if
well,
he
well,
had
but real
died,
quick,
what
Naaman,
he
because I wanted to land with that. It the fact that
go ahead.
essentially Jamal Bryant celebrated his death also. I don't know if y'all realize that's what he was doing.
Yes, he
But
did.
for the man to be dead and you saying this and for your congregation to go up in arms and love what you're saying, a congregation full of hurt, bitter, angry single moms. Um hey, if this is where we are as a black community, you once again I keep on stressing this and other brothers have said this too. Even in death, Kevin Samuels keeps on giving us gifts. And he everything this man said, y'all are doing in his death. Placating black women in the church, doing it in his death. Black women celebrating his death and showing the world their ass to kiss. They do it in his death. Like, the man is dead, and instead of the man is dead, and even in death, he's being proven right. So Jamal Bryant could say what he says, all these swirlers and divestors and black women empowerment women could say what they say. I read through the comment of the video, and it was a
Uh-huh.
bunch of
Mm.
women saying, yeah, yeah, I even women are saying I usually don't agree with him or I don't really like, but this one time he's right. And I'm like, yeah, isn't that interesting? You usually don't agree with him, but the one time he throws another black man under the bus, you agree with him.
But Mr. Z,
Right,
hold on.
go ahead.
Everything that he was talking about, referring to Kevin Samuels, is just like you just said. He was proving a point. And again, it was women who were calling up there saying just off the wall stuff that they were saying. And he just brought them to reality. The thing about it is that these pastors, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you speak the truth, it's hard. Look, I'm finding out more and more each day. We as black people, it's particularly as men, us as men, we are too damn emotional. We're not, we don't use our logic. Okay, it's a damn shame that we don't use our logic. Kevin was getting pushback about talking about and cleaning yourself up if you're ready to take that next roll up in the corporate world, and he was getting pushback from brothers. Okay,
I, I,
it,
real quick,
Not
Harley, I
everybody
hear you,
would
brother.
though.
I hear you. Here's the major issue. As much pushback as Kevin Samuels received with, trying to get brothers to tidy up, the biggest
Mm-hmm.
issue that we see here is black men's cowardice when it comes to black women.
oh
That's what
man.
you see left. That's
Say
what
that in
the
the back.
church
Say that
is.
again for the folks in the back, man.
Black men's cowardice when it comes to black women. What you see here with Jamal Bryant, what you saw with Pastor Creflo Dollar, what you see with DL, and I'm so disappointed in DL, right? With DL Hughley, you see black men, and it's mainly Xers and boomers, still doing well, if we would pull our pants up and go get a job, then maybe they wouldn't act. It's once again, it's that fake ass meritocracy. Black women are only doing what they doing because black men are so fucked up type thing, right?
Yep.
That's what.
Yep.
And what the reason why they can't stand Kevin is because what Kevin exposed is these black women are delusional as shit. Not just about black men. Black women are so delusional, even the majority of white men and Latino men don't fit into the man criteria that they have drawn out in their minds. And that, I say this everywhere I go, that with him doing that, that was an unforgivable sin. To show how delusional black women are, and to show that you can't do anything with many of them. Not all, maybe most, we could debate that, but at least a sizable minority, right? And that's what you're seeing. They're cowardice. They refuse to acknowledge that their daughters are delusional, spoiled brats. It's the Shaq thing all over again.
It's
You,
it's it's
you
it's so
go ahead.
common in the homes, man, bro. That ideology is so common amongst black men. It's not. Listen, I had a hard time when I was dating women because when all that little snarky little shit would come about and that little
Mhm.
saying stuff on the side of your neck, and I checked it. Oh my God, they got shocked. They were shocked about it because how dare you check me? No, how dare you speak to me like this? You don't talk to me like this. Well, I was and the funniest thing I used to hear all the time. Well, I was just playing. I play with my daddy. I'm not your daddy. Okay. Now, if your father, y'all had that kind of rapport where you can say what you want to say with him and whatever, and he just don't say nothing about it, that's between you and him.
Yeah,
See, a
no,
lot
they're
of,
lying about that. They're brother.
oh,
They're lying about talking to their
oh,
fathers
I
that way.
know.
So
Yeah, it's Pastor Jack.
at, at the end of the day, what we have is a bunch of women that want it the way they want it. This is what I'm saying. The What we're gonna see with men is we're gonna become more and more despondent, specifically towards black women. The indifference is gonna ratchet up because once again he left us a gift. This is gonna make young black men under the age of 30 even more indifferent towards black women, and
Hmm.
that's what's gonna hurt.
Hmm.
Because this is the thing, black women think they got an escape hatch. This is why I keep on stressing that divester and swirler shit. The reason why they think they don't care now, is because they think they have escape hatch. And the escape hatch is some naive middle class white dude or Latino dude. That's what they think. That's why they think they don't care. And as they try to exhaust that option and find that for the most part, them white boys and Latino men ain't checking, that's when they're gonna start screaming. Don't I know brothers want to feel them scream now. They're not gonna scream now because they think they have an out. So right now they don't care that you're not paying attention, right? Give it a couple more years, give it about 5 or 6 more good years, and black women are gonna be screaming from the top of their lungs. The boomers are gonna, excuse me, not the boomers. The millennials and Gen Z are gonna be screaming from the top of their lungs. The oldest millennial is 40 years old right now, 41. She thinks she got
Mm.
a couple
42.
years left. That's the thing. Oh, so 42. Okay, she thinks she got a couple years left.
1980.
That's why she's screaming. She's not screaming yet. The millennials my age were 35, 36 years old. We got a few more years left. She still got a couple of eggs that still might be hanging on for dear. So she thinks she got an out. The younger millennials and the oldest Gen Z think they got a way out. As they get to the market cap of Latino men and white men that will fuck with them for real, that's when they're gonna start screaming, and they're reaching that market cap. Don't let the internet fool y'all. It ain't as that Vesta swirler shit ain't as big as how they making it seem. As
No,
they
it isn't.
realize that in the next 5 or so years, 4, 5, 6 years, that's when you're gonna hear them scream. So
But the
You know what?
Jamal Bryant could say all the shit he say. Like I said,
right.
Creflo Dollar could say all the shit he say. DL could
Hmm.
say all the shit he say. Shaq could say all the shit he say. Give it another half a decade, and then watch them. I'm telling y'all right now, it's gonna be borderline violence what black women are gonna be on with black men, because they're gonna be they're gonna be even angrier than they are now, and even more desperate than they are now. And all you're gonna be able to do is say, "You remember Kevin Samuels?" Eh, that's all you got. You remember Kevin Samuels? Eh, just all you're gonna do is just retweet save their tweets now and just retweet all this shit in the next 5 years to remind them why your sons and your nephews are so indifferent to black women. Because they're gonna, when I tell you, they're gonna be many of them don't have kids, they never been married, they're gonna be screaming in the next 5 or so years because they got one egg left and niggas ain't fucking with they can't. I'm telling y'all that so many black women are not even gonna be able to have oops babies. That's what I'm telling you. That's how bad it's
Listen,
going to
bro.
be.
Dude, this
Not for all of
guy,
them, but for a sizable chunk of them. Go ahead.
Mm.
thinking
No,
about this. First of all, most millennials your age and older, or like our age, who are like my age around, the idea of them having kids is not viable. Even the best OBGYNs will tell them you are high risk pregnancy. Your risks of getting pregnant are very slim. Your chances of having a miscarriage way bigger. Your chances, and even if you carry a child to term, you're looking at obvious C-section because you ain't got you won't got the pelvic strength like you used to when you were in your 20s. Hell, your genes ain't shit. You're more likely going to have like what they call like special needs kids and everything. I mean, consider how many kids right now. I mean, it's been proven that like most children who are born with Down syndrome are usually born to older mothers.
Yep.
Because the eggs is not what they used to be. The quality of their eggs as they get older turns to shit. It starts starting from their like.
Let me
It
put it
starts
to
from
you.
their like, 30s,
Let me put it
and then
this
from their mid 30s onwards, and it's a steep drop. Go ahead.
Let me put it to you this way, man. Anytime you think you're gonna have a great baby, when I know women who were called high risk at 35, I've known babies in their 40s. They said if they had a choice, they never would have done it. They love their kids, but they said, fuck no. My body doesn't heal. She's like, I almost came close to death.
Yeah.
And here's the crazy part. Like I told a chick just now, once again, women pick fathers, men pick wives. Not every mother is a wife. Okay? Because that man has to make the decision, like you have to make the decision of who comes in the world. But they like to be alleviated from that fucking responsibility and blame it on men. I can skeet up in you all I want. Doesn't mean you're gonna have my baby, does it? And here's the crazy part. I said, when do you see women proposing to men, asking for their hand in marriage? You really don't. And when you actually see it, it looks sad. And it's not to a high value man. It's probably some bum on the street. You know that he wasn't going to marry you unless you made the initiative. So you still were not chosen to be a wife. And this is the reality for a lot of women. They're going to have to get down on their humble knee for the bum, and I mean it, the bum that they choose. A lot of these women are going to just pick bums, a bunch of bum-ass niggas, if there's any left. And see, what we really got to contemplate is this. You are not settling. You are what, shout out to Obsidian, you're just water seeking its level. You don't like reality. You don't like the fact that men have a say of who gets to be the wife. You don't like that because you don't think it's fair. Guess what? We didn't argue about if you had abortion rights or not. But if you're going to say you got the ability to abort a baby, we should have the ability to fucking financially abort them. Well, what about the man? You don't get pregnant by yourself. No, you don't, but you make the ultimate decision, right, honey? See, this is every time I hear this argument, it always comes back into women trying to alleviate themselves for something they control and only they alone control. You decided for the church to be a cesspool.
Yes, you did.
You decided to leave your men when they were working. Monahan report anybody? You. Every time, if y'all want to see the best of my debates, add me on fucking Facebook and I'll tag you.
Charles' greatest hits.
You got send me a message on my Facebook Messenger and I will add you and I will let you see. You don't even have to say anything. Just see the comments. And you'll see how stupid some of these women are to their reality. Look, you think, well, a woman doesn't have to get married. What if she doesn't want to be married and be by herself? That's not true because every woman wants somebody. She may not get to what she wants. She may not like her reality, but once in a while, you got to shut the fuck up and see where you truly are. You're not the 9 that you thought you were, especially post 35, especially post children. But see, when men have children, and they live with their children and take care of their children, that looks better on men because it shows responsibility. Responsibility looks damn good on men.
But Charles, think about it. They have everything about our society is placating them. Kevin and a few of us in this manosphere, black manosphere specifically, are the only ones that's telling them otherwise. They have movies placating them with the Captain Marvels and the Scarlet Witch and in the Star Wars franchise. They have TV shows. Their pastors placating them. Their other homegirls are placating them. The music is placating them. Every single thing is not telling them the real. So they're living in a delusion. And the only time they really get hit with reality is when a bill comes due, right, that they can't afford, right, and a man is not looking out for them. That's the one time they get hit with reality. When they can't get the man they want, that's another time they get hit with reality, right? And as they age and they get hit with like the proverbial wall. Outside of that, everybody is even, bro, it's so bad. Like we will know a chick's a bum, and because you want to smash, you throw her a couple dollars. And like because that's a thing in her life from the time she hit puberty for the most part, she never get the real until she literally the wall falls on her. So I, to a certain extent, I kind of see where they're coming from because nobody is really hitting them with the real. I mean, look at one of Kevin's last videos. Heavy set sister, not that attractive, chest tattoo, a couple of kids, still thinking she could get a baller. Why does she think that? Because everything in our society is fucking is lying to her. Everything.
That's disgusting.
So, you know, when you really sit down and think about it, they don't do competition as overtly as men, right? Even for those of us that sit on our ass all day and we play video games, you're competing, right? I play racing games. I'm competing online with 10, 15, 20 other people all across the world in this game trying to get first place, right? Even
Yeah.
when you play football in real life, when you play basketball, it's all competition. So you get an idea of how you rank. You know what losing feels like very viscerally. Women don't really, their competition is so like slick that even when they lose, it's not visceral in the same way it is for us.
Yeah.
So you know, they never really get the real until they like fucking 45,
Charles,
fucking
do me a
50
favor.
maybe. You know, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Read that. I was gonna say, read that
If I may.
comment that you just put on your YouTube.
Y'all can speak on Jamal or y'all, but you want to, but if you want to, but these YouTubers are manipulators, blessed and highly favored.
Blessed and highly favored.
For you,
Which I doubt that you truly are. I'm gonna fucking
Charles.
put this here.
Excuse me, Charles.
Yep.
Just look at her and just say, "Good for you," and leave it at that.
Over 35, and y'all brainwashed.
Wait. Let me address that, Charles. Madam, you could say that if you want. As a matter of fact, all women could say that. All women. Let's address that. If women were to say that, it would bite you in the ass inadvertently. That's what's happening to y'all now. Your anger and your rage is so great, you don't even understand how your own worldview bites you in the rear end in 5, 10, 15 years. It's biting you in you and your insane worldview turns around and bites you in the rear end, and then you still turn around and blame the men. So you can have this idea. Black men over 35, y'all ain't shit too. Cool. And if you think that, first of all, you're talking about the men that are more established, because that's when men's income really starts increasing 35 to about 55, 60. So first of all, you just X'd out all the men with money. Have fun with that. Secondly, those are the men that's better able to provide for you and your children. Once again, biting yourself in the rear end. You see what I'm saying? So you're saying that, and it sounds cute. It's a cute little one-liner. Yeah, I got you back. It made me feel good. But when you really actually try to implement that, once again, that's biting women in the rear end. See what happens when you feel shit and you don't think shit?
Matter of fact, here's the question. You got 2 minutes to get your punk ass up here.
Be nice, brother. Be nice. Let her, but come on up.
You got 2
Come
minutes,
on up.
or you're gonna be banned. Because what you really need to do is you need to really look at fucking Jamal Bryant. You fucking troll. You looking at Jamal Bryant hasn't spoken about a truth. He hasn't kept any damn promise. I mean, he treats his marriage like a pogo stick. He just hopping around on it and off of it when he wants. But is this your king? Is this your king? But of course you're not gonna come up here. You're too cowardly to do so. And see, you thinking we're manipulators? We're just speaking the goddamn truth about you. And see, this
Ma-
is the ugliness of it all. The ugliness.
You let's address this,
Hey,
Charles.
Z,
Okay, have we ever? All
Z,
of us know what a commercial is. Real quick. All of us know what commercials are. We know what advertising is. We know what these things are, right? Now, when we saw that clip of Jamal Bryant speaking, did any of us notice what his congregation was overwhelmingly full of? What was
Women,
it
and I
overwhelmingly full?
didn't.
Exactly.
I,
Oh,
I
Okay.
didn't even I haven't
Now,
even
now, now,
seen it yet.
let's get to that. Let's get to that. We're real quick because I gotta say this because this young let's give her something to think about. Now, if his congregation is primarily women, what's the likeliness that he's telling the truth that he knows compared to him making sure that his financial base stays where it is? There's a reason why his church and
Exactly.
most churches are filled with women and not with men, and it's not because women are more religious or moral than men.
Exactly.
Madam, consider, why is his church and most churches, not even just black churches anymore, most churches and congregations, at least Christianity right now, is filled with women and not men? Have you considered that? Jamal Bryant's church and most churches in America are filled with women. So could it possibly be that the reason why he's saying what he's saying is because he looks out of his congregation and he sees pretty much a 70-30, maybe even 80-20 woman to man rate? Is that possible? Think about that for a second before you
he knows
answer.
where
Just
it's
think about it.
No, did you hear what she just typed down right now? A woman's age is not important as their character. I'm
Uh,
54 and I look about 35.
that's cute, but answer the question, madam.
She's not going to answer that question. Hell, the last woman, the oldest
I'm gonna
woman
answer that
Kevin
question.
Samuels had, who's looking for a high value man, was 73.
you know what? You know what?
These
A,
women
a
are,
woman's age is not important. Yes, it is. It is highly important.
and
You lose
ma'am, your
without,
organs don't look 35.
and neither does her face. It looks 75. But anyway, here's the problem,
yes,
right?
that is great.
Here's the hold on. Here's the problem. You keep lying to yourselves, but
Oh,
the
now,
men are the buyers when it comes to women. Men are the ones who judge if you're worth it or not. Nature says you can't produce. You're menopaused. What good would a 35-year-old man have with your old ass?
But Charles, you don't even
Target
gotta go there.
practice.
Just ask her to look at the number. We This is the beauty of the internet. We have easily accessible data. You say you're 54, but you look 35. Okay, that's cool. I'll even grant you that. Okay, you 54. Okay, black don't crack that. Cool. What do the numbers say about as women get older, their likeliness of getting married? What do the numbers say?
It's just ultimately going to show you how ignorant your
The
statement is.
older they get, the less likely they are to get married, even if they want to get married. We have polls on this, ma'am.
well,
There's
Dude,
poll.
what she's
dude,
really saying is that I can get penis. That's it. No man's trying to keep this woman.
see,
It doesn't
this,
even
Excuse
matter
me,
if she
Z.
can or not.
I'm
It,
gonna
it
tell.
oh,
Hold on. I'm
Hold
going to
on,
tell you a little
hold
bit
on.
of something, right? I'm going to say this. The only reason y'all old broads even get men is because the older y'all get, the easier you get.
thank you.
You just put your pussy out there on a half-washed silver platter. Guess what?
Hysterical.
Men who are 35 and 40, all we gotta do is stay in shape, and we'll be busting nuts till 237. Okay? Y'all have, y'all have a fucking finite window of reproduction. Okay? And then here it is, right? And I'm just gonna go by a guy who's physically a 7, right? He's to women handsome, but not, movie stars. See, here's the secret of men.
Me.
Men get better with age. We look better with beards because beards show maturity. It shows something. Let that man work
For
out.
those,
Let him change his wardrobe. Let him be more refined. Get a little seasoned. See, it's okay for men to be seasoned because we're supposed to we're supposed to have the answers. We're supposed to be knowledgeable. The only way you do so
Charles,
is you gotta go through the crucible.
did
And
you see
see,
what she said? Most
mean,
black women, most black men don't want to marry black women unless we got 10 kids with us. Madam, men
No.
aren't marrying
yeah, that's
women
a
in
troll.
America in general. What are you? Once again, a dumb
Mr.
trope
G,
that
Mr.
you don't
G,
really know. Go ahead, go ahead.
hold on.
Go
Mr.
ahead, go
Z,
ahead. I'm
let me
sorry. Go
step
ahead.
in on this one.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Young lady, I stopped dating black women in the United States back in 2000. 2000.
20 years ago.
I've been I've been I've been going down to the equator line to a country called Brazil. Okay, going back and forth. I've been to Brazil over 25 different times. Over 25 times. Okay,
Onde
I have
no
a
Brasil?
goddaughter. I wouldn't want to. The only way you all have set your all selves up, and a lot of times in this place here, is for somebody to meet you, greet you, and then run through you, and then run away from you.
Hey,
So
brother,
all the
you want me to
blah
back you
blah
up on
blah.
that? What?
What's that?
Hey, I always say this. I'm backing you up on this. You know, we live in a diverse country. If black men are the problem, go get you a white man. If black men are the
That's
problem, go
it.
get you a Latino man. Go. Wait a minute. There's polls already that let you know. Christian Rudder wrote a book called Dataclysm based off of Match.com and all those other dating websites, and they asked white men straight up, why aren't y'all fucking with black women? Shay Sade covered this on her stream. These non-black men, if black men are the issue, if black men ain't marrying us, what about these non-black men? Why they not marrying you? We live in as a matter of fact, they're what the white people are something what 65%. So okay, you don't even got to be on some straight shit. Let's say you're on some LGBTQ shit. Why are white women and Latina women marrying y'all? Oops.
See, here's the crazy part.
Ooh.
Nah, in Africa.
Here's the crazy
Wait,
part.
wait, 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 wait. Let me get in. Let me get in. Let me get in. Tag me in. Tag me in. Tag me in.
Tag.
Thank you. Z. Oh, by the way, Z. Or by the way, MC Air Quotes. Your DJ is in the chat. By the way, DJ No Static.
My apologies for monopolizing the space, y'all. Y'all know how I get with this type of conversation.
Yeah, we know, you menage a 12 motherfucker, you francophone.
Nah, don't even go there.
But
The
now I'm
fact
gonna
of the matter is, these
Anyway.
white men,
Right, there
they
you
don't
go.
believe in
There you go.
stats. They don't believe in anything. The fact of the matter is, they know they're done.
I'm going to say
Thank
this.
you for asking, but as I was trying to say,
We're done arguing
as I was
with
trying to say, first of all,
you.
Z,
got 2 minutes. You got 2 minutes starting now. Get your ass up here or leave or be
She's not
forced.
gonna come, Mr. Faulkner.
Because I'm going to tell you what you're saying about this shit. I'm tired of you fucking past your prime running backs saying you got one more in you. No, you don't. Why should I compete for an old bag of bones, this old battle axe? I could go to the college, wait till they graduate, and get the newer model coming right out. Why not? Why would I want to deal with somebody who got 3 times the mileage of a goddamn 74 Nova? Why would I want to deal with somebody who can't bear children if I want them? Why would I want to deal with somebody who other men know? You got more bodies than Arlington National Cemetery. Your
Oh
whole
my goodness.
look like the Royal Rumble.
May I add some? Oh, I'm sorry.
Why do you think that you fucking don't have anything of value?
May I add something?
Why do you think
I would like to add something also. I would like to add something also. She said she looks 35. You notice that a lot of these older, what's the age that's leading in HIV and AIDS today are older women,
50.
older men. You know who's leading that category? Older black women.
Yeah, because what did I tell you? In order for them to get dick, they got to do what? Become easy.
Yep.
All we got to do is just live our lives and just have a halfway decent diet, halfway decent exercise, dress a little better, and we're good. Who's the new person up here?
Salam, Allah, who is this?
What's up? What you got to say about the subject? Hello?
Can anybody hear me?
I can hear you now.
We hear you.
Yes, sir. I'm a black man, 70 years old. I lost my wife to cancer. For the last 5 years of her life, I took care of her. I'm looking to remarry, black woman, of course. my age group. Any suggestions, my brothers? I really am enjoying this.
Stay the hell away from any woman under the age of 50.
I'm gonna tell you what. If you really want to be honest, go get you a wife from Africa.
Second that.
Go
If
get
he
you a
is,
wife.
he's got to find it. He's got to be preferably a widow or something like that. If he's looking for somebody, because unless he's looking to have children,
Yeah.
because a lot of them who marry older men are looking to have children as well.
Go look for an older woman over there in Africa. You got 54 countries to choose from. Because over here,
Preferably a widow.
Because over here, personally, I'm gonna just tell you, you're not gonna get much out of it. You got to remember the women who are your age bracket who teaches this 54-year-old. Guess what? That's their mothers.
I don't stand a chance then, right?
Let me put it this way for you, brother. We don't even stand a chance, and we're their sons.
You gotta realize here, you try to look for love here is tough. Is it impossible? No, but it's fucking difficult.
Right.
Looking for something all the wrong places.
Well, I had it with my wife. She was very good to me, and I loved her very, very much. And we were tight. We were a team.
Yeah.
A real tragedy that
How long you guys married?
48 years.
Good.
Yeah. You hear that? Beautiful.
Amen to that.
By the way, sir, what age were you and your wife when you got married? When you both got married?
1972. I was in my 20s.
And how old was your wife?
She was older than me. She was about 7 years older than I was.
So y'all were both in your 20s.
Yeah. She was in her late 20s.
So here's the crazy part. You got her when she was in her prime. And y'all lasted for almost 50 years.
Right.
And only death took that away. Not even divorce. I'm going to just round up and say 50. I'm going to just say 50.
I'm going to just say 50 years. And congratulations to that beautiful 50 years. My condolences that your wife passed.
Thank you, my brother.
Yes, sir.
What you had was a gift from God. You know, I'm going to break it down. Your wife, hallowed be her name, was a gift from God. She was somebody who was an asset and who was a wife. She was a diamond in the world whole. And I'm almost jealous that I may never get that.
I am jealous. And I'm in a relationship.
This is my 1991 picture.
I want to say something.
My avatar.
Oh, wow.
1991.
Okay. Hey, can I ask you a question, sir?
Go ahead, please.
Sir, I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
When did she pass away?
August 15, 2020, Huntington Hospital, Pasadena, California. I was at her bedside.
Oh, okay. Okay, too soon to be asking a question because I was thinking maybe you might have
wait a minute,
by now.
Namer, you noticed something? She didn't die alone.
No.
She didn't die alone.
She didn't die alone.
She died in your arms, happy.
Thank you.
You know what your last words to me was? I love you, big man. That's what you told me.
I like that.
Wow. Damn. That makes you want to cry.
Wow.
Hey, if y'all want to know what Kevin Samuels was talking about, that's what he was talking about. That's what he was talking about.
This is the reason why. A lot of men out there, a lot of women out there are gonna have to realize you're not gonna get that if you keep acting the way you do. To know that you were loved, taken care from your death on death's door,
appreciated.
And then here's the crazy part: you were such a good husband to her. Her last words was not, "Oh God, I didn't finish." No, it was, "I love you."
Yes.
That, you know how many people don't get to hear that?
That's true.
Tons.
She went out on top. She went out.
This picture was taken in 1991, my avatar.
Mm.
Look how we looked. We were so happy.
That's a beautiful picture.
Look happy.
Yeah, that's me and her. 1991.
I'm gonna tell you,
30 years ago.
if you want to
God
get
damn.
married, if you want to get married, you got to go out. You got to get your passport, go to Africa, get an older woman there. Here, too many women will take
Oh, be
advantage.
careful though. Oh, wait. Be careful. I have to say something with that. Be careful because, the thing about that is like, if he does get married over there, he might want to consider relocating there if possible, but depends on the country he's there because sometimes, even if he were to find somebody there, they might try to. He's got to make sure everything's on the up and up. He's going to need to have some people over there who can help him, vet these individuals and whatnot. So he's got to have good connections with people who are down there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying, sir?
Yes, sir.
I mean, if you have any acquaintances or any people in Africa that you know of who are
No.
good, who you
No.
trust, not. Okay.
No, we got
there's
brothers in this space that could get you hooked. That could get you some connections.
Yeah, that'd be good. That'd be good for him. Because sometimes what the thing is like in Africa, a lot of people if they marry like a foreigner, they want to use that person because they're that foreign citizenship. They use that person to be like that. That's what I'm saying.
I usually don't cut people off. Get rid of this drag. Anybody?
No problem.
Anybody who's been on my channel for a minute and been faithful, give me a woo in the chat if you don't have a wrench, because I think I need to stock up my army. Give me a woo if you don't have a wrench and you've been rocking with me for a minute now, because I'm gonna stock up my mod army because we're not gonna suffer these idiots very much longer.
I could cam up and show you how I look now.
You're good, sir. You don't have to.
May I also throw something in there from a medical point of view?
Medical?
No, not directed towards you, Mr. Allah, not directed towards your situation. Your situation is different. What I was going to say, a lot of these women, they're going to die alone. Here's what's going to happen when you don't have a husband or any family to claim your body after you're dead. You know what you're going to be considered as? You're going to be considered as a Jane Doe, which means the hospital owns the property of your body. And guess what they're going to do? They're going to take every living organ that you got that is incredible and give it to someone else.
Yes, sir.
I claimed my wife, had her cremated, and her remains are with her clothes in her clothes closet right now.
Good job, sir.
She's with me now. She came home in a box.
And also, a lot of these women have to understand, and I don't wish this on anyone else. Nowadays, it's easy with modern technology and medicine to get liver transplant, kidney transplant, but there are also other diseases where you're going to need that donor, which may possibly be the father. Now, if you're going to carry on with this attitude towards the father not to help your child, what does that say about you when they need the help?
Right.
Yep. This is that evil shit that you sends of the parents. Hey, Namer and Z, moderate for me. I'll be right back. I gotta take care of something.
Okay. I wanted to say this also about this young lady. 54. She's not old. She's older, but she ain't old. Ma'am, throughout your life, you're gonna see what we're talking about. See, it sounds crazy to you now. It sounds so far-fetched to you now because throughout your life, men have been doing nothing but placating you and ego stroking you. I was speaking about this earlier. But, in the next 20 years, you'll see what we're talking about. You'll see what we're talking about in the next 20 years. I promise you. See, Jamal Bryant ain't going to be able to save you from men being despondent and men's pretty much indifference. Not just to you, but towards your daughters and your nieces and other women and girls in your life. And you'll see what we're talking about. Don't worry. I say this to all black women, all black women in specific. Y'all think we sound crazy now? Give it a couple decades. That's always my thing. It's not a you're gonna die alone thing. It's worse than you're gonna die alone. Actually, what I'm saying is while you're living, forget dying alone. While you're living, you're gonna witness what we're talking about. So, hey,
you live it that long. Actually, hold on. Oh, I'm sorry, Nemo. I'm sorry.
It's okay, Class. Oh, by the way, Class, are you a surgeon?
No, I'm an anesthesia doctor, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're an anesthesiologist. Okay, that's cool.
Yes.
That's cool.
Mhm.
Hey,
Wait. Didn't
but
Nemo
you're
want
part
to
of
be
the
too
operating.
scared? Wait a minute. Let Classy go there. Wait a minute. Go ahead, Classy. Nemo, you got it after him. Wait a minute. Go ahead. What you was gonna say?
It wasn't gonna be on a medical. I mean, it wasn't too much gonna be on a
That's
medical
cool.
point of view. Actually, I was gonna say, I mean, it's easy for somebody to look like they're 35 when you're caked on full of makeup that's made out of human and animal products. Number two, do you
That
remember the
part.
movie I'm Gonna Get You Sucker? It's just all a facade. When that woman took herself apart like a Mrs. Potato Head, this is what you see right here. It's all a facade. As soon as you get her in bed and she smudges her face on that pillow, you're gonna see the real what she really looks like. But go ahead.
Look at it this way. It's like
And this is a young brother in the medical field, the type of brothers that y'all women covet, telling y'all what it really is. Y'all can't
Thank
trick
you.
him either.
Thank you.
Anesthesiologist.
There's like 10 black male anesthesiologists in the whole country, and we talking to one.
Well, like I wanted to say was, Z, like we said, like even if these women do get some play, it's because like maybe somebody might have some MILF porn type of fascination or some shit like that, or just want to know what it's like to get with an older woman. But I don't think they have the wherewithal to handle that shit themselves. They'd rather die alone than to mess with that shit, unless they die desperate. Secondly,
I mean, men want peace, right? I think some women want peace too. So you're right. I think some men, if you make them choose between,
wait, not peace.
Go ahead.
Not peace. It's not peace that they want. They want stability.
Yeah.
Security and stability more than peace. Because if the peace doesn't come with security and stability, they'd rather have chaos.
I agree. So
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Classy. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that chaos. I know this is sounding very cold-hearted. But all of that chaos that they have amongst themselves is actually keeping me. I know that sounds wrong to say it, keeping me paid, because a lot of these women are coming into the hospital, going to the psych ward, and also they're taking heart medication for the heart disease, and they're just basically weeding themselves out. And not to mention with all the weight gain they've grown. The last black woman I put in the morgue was 675 pounds.
Wow.
Wait. How are you guys able to pick her up is the question. How are you guys able to put her on the gurney and everything? Since she was 600 pounds.
Well, of course, it takes about 10 to 20 people to do that. I mean, I'm not going to do it myself. But at the same time, a lot of that stuff, I know from a simple fact, coming from also some of my family members. I just had two aunts that died this year, and they did a lot of drinking and they did a lot of drugs and stuff. And we're talking about all the way to their 60s. Now, let me explain something to you. They can tell you that, oh, no, I'm all okay. I'm all right. No, what you have is a bunch of functional, depressive human beings that's walking around.
Ooh, say that again, please. The functional, depressing human. And so I want to address that with tying to that. What this lady said, what's her name? Burla. We women look out for each other. What else she said? We have many more female doctors for us to listen to. Fine. Like I said earlier, it's cute and cool to have these one-liner comebacks. That's great. Like, that makes you feel good. You have these one-liner comebacks to levy at us when we say something. That's cool. Ma'am, you're probably under the age of 50. Maybe you're under the age of 60. You'll live long enough to see what we're saying. Right? You'll live long enough to see what we're saying. That's all I'm saying. And it's not real quick, Neighbor. It's not a you're gonna die alone thing. What I'm saying is the landscape is changing so fast. These one-liners that you think, or that make you feel good, they make you feel good to have these responses back to black men that speak about their experiences with black women. And it makes you feel good. But the landscape is changing so fast, you don't really realize you're not standing on stable ground. A lot of black women are responding to black men this way, not realizing the ground you actually stand on. And it's really precarious. It sounds good and it feel good to have these cute ass one-liners and to roll your eyes and snap your neck and Kevin Samuel's dead, ha ha ha, and all you little Samuelettes, and that sound cute. We'll see how you feel for the rest of your life. It's not gonna look good. I'm saying that not to try to fearmonger you. I'm saying that to give you a warning. And of course, you're gonna deny me, and you're gonna think I'm being hyperbolic, and I'm just on some tinfoil shit. Hey, I consume nothing but news. I consume nothing but documentaries. It ain't looking good. I'll just say that. It's not looking good. I'll pause right there. Y'all go ahead.
Go ahead, name. I'm gonna go after you.
Anyway, I'm gonna say it like this. Like I want to say was this. First of all, I'm gonna tell you a story. I got a couple of stories to tell. That's about this type of thing. First of all, I don't know if you guys, I don't know what the saying is in Creole, but not where I'm from, but from next door to Ethiopia, they have a saying. They say like, give people advice. If they don't want to take the advice, let experience teach them. So with that being said,
Yep.
so there's this young lady I know, good friend of mine, but I've kind of had to keep it. I've kind of had to keep contact at a minimum. But she's like she's on the other side of 30 now. She's in her early 30s. This is a young, attractive woman, and I remember showing her clips of Kevin Samuels because she was trying to start her own because she's like been like really building her own image consultancy agency and whatnot. So she's been doing good, but I talked to her about her love life and shit. She asked her, what's it like? Because she lives in Italy. And she said most of the people she dates are mostly guys like in their 40s, 50s who are like divorcees and whatnot. I said, and how old are you? And she said, well, I'm 30-ish. I said, do you realize why they don't want to commit like that? And most of these guys are white, I take it, right? And she said, yeah. I'm like, do you realize anything? I knew she knew what I was talking about, but she just didn't want to admit it. So I just kind of had to leave it alone. I mean, she's an attractive woman. She's like 5'4", very attractive. Her lips are something to die for. But you know, it's just she's got a good sense of humor. But that the situation she's in. I mean, she lives like in northern Italy, and she's driven, but she forgets that there's got to be a balance. I understand where she's coming from, but I say, sweetie, the world doesn't revolve around you. She's pretty grounded, but I guess there's like even the smart ones are pretty delusional. You know what I'm saying? All right, go ahead, Classy.
What I was going to respond to when she said about the we have many more female doctors for us to listen to. Dear, actually, you don't. Reason why I say that is because when you hear stories about Black women complaining about the doctors when they're in a lot of pain, a lot of those doctors are not male doctors. There are female doctors that are treating your skin like it's tough enough to take certain type of needles that other races of women can't because they believe that your skin is tougher than theirs. So those female doctors really don't have your back the way you think. They're just telling you something to make you feel good. I'll proceed. I'm sorry.
No, but even look at her response. You could real quick, Namer. Look at her response. Y'all could dish it out, but y'all can't take it. Once again, feeling stuff. This reminds me. Once again, rest in peace, Kevin. This reminds me of Kevin, right? Like, oh, yeah, I want them to feel the way we feel when we listen to Kevin. Like, once again, it's feeling stuff. I'm begging this lady to use some logic, and she's like, "No, nigga, I want you to feel the way I feel."
Well, the problem with feelings to me is based on the fact that. Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
What's that saying you always say whenever you tell those women about the facts? What they usually say to you?
Hey, fuck your feelings. Oh no, fuck your facts. Fuck your facts. Fuck your facts. Yeah, hey, yes, ma'am. I get it. I know that's what your sentiments really are. Is fuck your facts. Or they think there's such things as selective facts apparently to women like this. But like I said, hey, we're here on this plane for a finite amount of time, and we will see who's more accurate. I'm not saying men are going to be great. I'm saying women are going to be really hurting in the next couple of decades in a way that y'all don't foresee yet. And so that's what I'm saying. And the world is used to men being in pain. The world is used to watching men die alone. The world is used to that. I'm telling you that the world ain't used to that because we could see that in Japan and in South Korea now. We see that all across Europe now, especially Eastern Europe now. We see that, and it's happening to Black women already now. That's what we're saying. And unlike Silent and Greatest Generation, boomers didn't have a zillion kids like that, especially not the hood ones. Mm-hmm. So for those of you that maybe only have one sibling that you don't talk to, right? or you were an only child. You're the only child, so that means you don't have you may have a cousin or two, maybe not, but that means you don't have no nieces and nephews, and you don't have no siblings, and you may not have never been married. So that dying alone thing, I mean, when we say it, we're not joking. We know what we're saying when we say that shit. We know what we're saying when we say that shit. So, I mean, hey, we'll see. We'll see.
One of
Mr.
the
Z,
things.
can I ask a
Hey,
question?
Go ahead, go ahead.
go ahead.
Yeah. Wouldn't this increase my chances of finding a wife here if there's so many? What do you
I
think?
mean, hey, what quality of wife? That's the question.
It's a great question.
But that's true.
Answer. It's a great answer. Yeah.
I mean, Mr. Allah, this is Salam, sir.
Yes, sir.
Think about this way. Think about it this way. Even if you were to find a decent woman here, would she hold you and would she show you great praise, or would she just view you in utter contempt? That is the problem.
Because we want you
That
to
is
be
the thing you have to
valued.
understand.
We and no, but as a older brother, and we want you to be valued for the rest of your life. So we don't want to send you out here to be with a woman that look at you as a meal ticket, right? So that when I said quality, that's what I mean.
Exactly.
If you're stable, you're retired, you're doing well, you were in a damn near 50-year long marriage. We don't want the next woman to come around and just see you as a meal ticket and take advantage of you. So
Right.
if you're gonna come back out here in this world, which can be a little crazy, we want to make sure that we put you in the best possible position, and hopefully you don't end up like somebody like these women in the comment section right now.
Wow.
I'll give you an example, sir. I mean, where I come from, my great grandfather, God rest his soul. Hold on a second. My great grandfather. This is my great grandfather on my father's mother's side. He was from the He was from that golden generation, that GI generation, right? He lost my great grandmother just some time after he had all 5 of his children were from her. And by the time she passed away, his children, my grandmother and her siblings were like, Father, why don't you, remarry? And he did a simple dude. He said, no. Especially considering he's from our traditional village. And he's like, I'm old. And I have two, and even if I were to remarry, what do I need another wife for, right? I already have my children. I have my grandchildren. The point of me getting married is not a good idea. Plus, whoever I take as a wife, that woman should belong to somebody else and have his children, not mine. So for about a decade or so, he stubbornly refused to remarry, and they were like, and until my grandmother decided, my grandmother and her siblings decided, how about if we marry you to a widow? And by the time he was in his 60s, he was like, you know what? All right. If she's an elderly widow and she has I'd be okay with that. And fortunately, they found he was married to an elderly widow who had no children. And my grandmother, she and everybody, they respected that woman, as her mother and everything. So after my great grandfather passed, they took care of her, and after she passed, things worked out. It was just like that. So if you are to get remarriage, like I said, it's not easy. Some people don't want to remarry after that. Others, they do. So Mr. Salam, if you are going to think of looking for, thinking of remarriage, you got to take this one step at a time. I mean, you're just recently widowed, right, sir? It's been 2 years now, right?
About 2 years or so.
Okay. So have you come to terms? Have you found closure yet, sir?
Yeah, but I just, I'm tired of being alone. I'd like to have somebody sleep next to me, somebody I can talk to. Even if I just spend the night with her and I go to her place, she comes to mine from time to time. The company, companionship, some love in my life. That's what I'm looking for. Am I asking for too much?
Do you have any good?
No, you're asking
not
for
asking
everything
too much,
that's good.
Oh, Bentley, my condolences. 5.5 years widow. Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm, tired of being alone. I would like to find
See
somebody.
right there. See right there. Fearful, tired of being alone. Men don't want to be alone, but the times when we need to be by ourselves. But I hear what you're saying, sir. So,
Well, solitude does have its good moments, but not all the time.
That's correct.
Okay.
My bad, y'all. I don't mean to jump in. I just want to say, man, look, I appreciate y'all talking, with the articulation that y'all have and stuff, but I'm ignorant. I just want to get at Bear Claw real quick while she talking this trash and stuff, talking about people demeaning black women. First of all, y'all demean yourselves on a daily basis, and y'all demean y'all kids and those around y'all when y'all getting y'all feelings. Just like you came on this panel, like you came on this channel, and you heard men talking, and you had something to say to disagree with that. It ain't, and then like she's saying, the majority of black men have stomachs as if they were pregnant. That's
Nah,
after decades. That's after
actually,
decades. Men don't
actually,
get
if you
bellies
want to
until
be
they late
truthful,
30s.
actually, if you
Hold
want
on,
to be
hold on, hold
truthful,
on, hold on. Let me finish. She talking about they got stomachs as if they're pregnant. Ma'am, that's after we don't sat down after many years of working and working out and doing hard labor and doing jobs. Y'all be having stomachs in y'all 20s after that first kid. And y'all
No,
say y'all
Right.
have baby fat.
they
Y'all
have
baby,
stomachs in their
y'all,
teens.
bro,
hey,
they
wait a
talking about
minute.
baby fat. Your child, 12 years old. What the hell you talking about baby fat? That's a grown ass man now. What are you talking about?
Wait a minute. I gotta say this. One, a lot of these chicks have stomachs and they had no kid to first.
Yep.
Right.
Stop the cat with that one.
A
Two,
whole bunch of hot Cheeto, Lamarita drinking motherfuckers talking shit. And then the one who talking about I'm 54, I look 35. Man, you don't look 35 in your picture with all those filters and that BS magazine filter you got on there. You don't look good, man. And this is the thing. When I be listening to these women talk, I look at the picture. Yeah, man, I can tell you're miserable. Look at how you look. Of course, you got an issue with what men are saying. Oh, he said you average is best. You mad at that? You know what you mad at? He said that you average at best because you're not even average.
You below.
That's the problem.
I have to say this. There's very few times I disagree with Kevin with the average or best video being one of them. That shit doesn't even average. He's Roger from off of America.
Charles, you're
So
borging.
I said the chick from the average or best video, she looked like Roger from a family from American Dad. Like I'm just looking at it like yo, you got chicks out
Sure
here.
wasn't Roger?
Shout out to Roy for the cash app. I'm like, look, a lot of these chicks saying black men this, black men that. Where's your man? If you had one, you wouldn't be on here, would you? Ooh, they having stomachs in the
They
middle
just
of
here
your
to get
stomach like a squid and shit. Damn shame.
Charles, you remember what I said last time? Like when we were talking about over Kevin Samuels and stuff? They say that black man got to do this, that, and the third to get their attention. But if it's a white boy, they chase their tune.
Oh, that basic ass white boy, he don't gotta do shit just to rob. That's how fucking colorist and racist black women have become.
Oh
Oh,
man, I love it when black women get done bad by white guys. I love it. I love seeing them when they get their heart broken by Brad. That just be funny. I know a couple of them. They left good black men to go be with Brad, and then the next thing you know, Brad is fucking they best friend and kicking them out the house. But see, the thing about it, white boys when they begin with white girls, oh, they don't break up with them like how black men do. We take our time. We might got done be breaking up with you for 2-3 years. The white boys, oh no, Keisha, get out. Keisha, get out. She ain't on her way over here.
Jay,
Sheena, yeah, Sheena, get over. She on the way over here now.
Hey, wait a minute.
You need to get your stuff.
They're killing
hey John, can I
these
just question
black
you?
women. White boys are killing black women now. Killing
yes,
them. They
yes, they
murder
have.
them at a high
And,
rate.
That
And
comes
yet
yeah,
no
still flock to them. Why?
yeah, because
They're killing them.
stupidity, because of colorism. They hate themselves so much they'll go sleep with the enemy anytime.
Yep.
Well, the problem with those women is that the
Wait,
fact of the
yes,
matter.
go help the kick rocks, go help the bear.
Well, the problem is a lot of these women don't understand that even if you date outside your race, especially with the men, they're very tribunal. What I mean by that is that they're going to stick to their own before they give their best to another woman. And the white man knows that in order for him to keep power within the United States, he cannot breed biracial kids.
That's a fact.
Now, will there
That
be
is definitely a fact.
will there be outliers that may have biracial kids? Of course, that's always been around. But as the majority, they're not going to stray away from their race to marry another woman, because there's also a lot of white women looking for good white men as well. So you're going to have to compete with that and Asian women, and you're at the bottom.
And the white women know how to shut up when the time comes.
Yeah, because they
They
have
might
mothers
pop.
Hey, Solo.
and wives.
Excuse me, Solo.
Yo,
First of all, like I said, what you said, like, you know, it thrills you to see how, you know, how certain people get, you know, just like bashing black women and shit. I said, fam, I know it's funny to watch, but sometimes you got to be indifferent. So don't give them that energy. Like they say, don't feed that troll and shit. You know what I'm saying, fam? You should be
oh
like,
yeah, I feel what you're saying, but see, I'm on demon time. I'm on demon time. No. I see. My thing is this: I reciprocate the energy that's given out. Cause see that whole taking the high road stuff, that don't get nothing accomplished. You know what that does? That makes them think that they got one on you. And the thing is, when you can rebuttal them and make it sound better and bring facts and you know you can talk and speak on your truth, they can't do nothing about it. All they gonna do is get quiet. Then they start with the ad hominems, and that's when you start getting personal. That's when I go for the juggler. Ma'am, you can't talk to me if you can't show a picture past your neck. You can't talk to me and I can't see past your neck, ma'am. You can't talk to me if I go to your profile page and all your pages got you laying on the bed with your breasts up in the picture because that's the only thing you got to offer. Calm down with that junk. You trying to talk to a man who don't been there, bro. I don't been called so much stuff my whole life, bro. So being called ugly and stuff like that don't bother me. What you gonna talk about? Let's talk about these facts. That's my whole point about this whole situation with Kevin Samuels. Oh, he was disrespecting us. Calm the hell down. You disrespect yourself on a daily. You know that you need to go
I
take
didn't
your
say
ass to work out. You,
I
I'm
said
sorry. Go
different.
ahead. Oh, you
I
said
said
being
to being
different.
different. I didn't say calm down. I said I hear what you said. You just look at like, and just walk and just keep it pushing.
You know
Yeah,
what?
see,
You
yeah,
shouldn't do it.
but see, that's the
What I was
thing.
gonna
That's
say
how
was,
men. Oh my God. Go ahead.
oh, no, what I was gonna say was, I was just kind of froggy on what you was just saying, bro. Here's the thing, though, and I'm gonna just make a slight disagreement with what you just saying. It is better to take in the high road, and let me give you a picture why. Imagine when you are the first, you first get married to a woman that is not from these certain surroundings, that are not from the community that you're from, and she's from a different part of the world, and you got this drop dead gorgeous, fit, feminine, intelligent, inspiring, and she's on your shoulders, bro. That high road, they will lick every time they look at you. Their eyes just are like knives, just throwing them at you because you took the high road. You wanted peace. You wanted a partner that you can work with. That's taking the high road, man. They gonna always talk stuff about us. Kevin knew that. Kevin knew that. May that man rest in peace. Kevin knew that they was gonna talk stuff, but guess what they kept doing? They kept coming back night after night after night after night, and he just got bigger and bigger. So the thing about it is, it's cool to look. If they trying to talk about you, you check them. Be cool, but check them. And the thing is, like, okay, is that how you rolling? Well, all right. And then you meet somebody that you want to be, who you desire, that fits your needs. Man, bro, it's the sweetest. It's like what Machiavelli say. It's the best revenge is a dish that's best served cold, and that's what you do.
Ooh, the
See, we
Klingons. The Klingons.
is that Klingon? I thought that was Machiavelli.
No, it's the Klingons.
There's a second.
Okay, then.
It's when the Enterprise
Wait a minute.
breaks
Who remembers Count of Monte Cristo? Excuse me. Who
But the point
remembers
I'm
the
Oh, the
making
Count of
Caramel
is,
Monte
Crystal.
Cristo?
yeah.
I
But
do.
the point I'm
That's
making
one of
is,
my favorite
the
books.
point I'm making is that, bro. Hey, listen, man. You just keep, building yourself, getting you having a better image of who you are. Stay on top of your game. I don't care if you be the best worker, if you inspire to be the entrepreneur, you be the best entrepreneur. If you work in corporate America, you shoot for the top. Because the thing is, when you focus on yourself, man, all this ripping the roll and all this talking and what they chit chatter and all that hee hee and kiki and man, that all goes away, man. It all goes away, and you be
Okay,
laughing to yourself.
I feel what y'all saying. I get what y'all saying, but this my thing. This why I say I get them with that energy. Cause see, a lot of people, some people realize it, some people don't. A lot of these women, they you know they respond. They the only way you can get some of these women to be submissive is if you show them that you're not with that bullshit. That's why a lot of these women got Stockholm syndrome. That's why they be going for the quote unquote cookies and ray rays because they ain't taking that shit. As soon as a female try to check them, they on their ass like on some like girl I'll fuck you up type shit. I don't mean to be cussing and all that. I apologize if that's bothering y'all. But they be on they be on that type of energy like you know what I'm saying. I'll mess you up while you talking this smack because you know what I'm saying. You nobody special. And that's the thing about it. You gotta let them know you're not special. You're a human being. My whole point is this. I know men and women are different, but when it comes to respect and treating each other, that's the equality part. I know that there's certain double standards that you can't get over with because that's just how life is. That's just how nature works. And I deal on a natural state. I don't deal on this society thing where this person supposed to do this person supposed to do that. Because when it comes to childbearing, if you look at any species out there, except for a few of them, the woman is with the child majority of the time. Humans are mammals. Most mammals, the female is with the child majority of the time that they're growing up, while the male goes out and he procreates with as many females as he can, because it's a gene. It's a it's an inside of a male to spread his genes. Especially if you're a strong male, you're gonna. That's
Let me
why it's
put
a
it to
lot of
you
dudes out here. It's a
Let
lot
me
of
put
dudes
it
out
to you
here
this
that.
way. Let me
I'm
put it to
sorry.
you this way. I'm going to say this.
Hmm.
See, a man got to value his indifference because the reason why I say this, and I'm going to put people on game. The reason why I say value your indifference is because the more you're indifferent, the more a female will do move heaven and earth to get your attention. When you give females ultimate attention, it's like a cat with a ball with a string. You put the
Yep.
string barely out their reach, they're going to keep grasping for hours. Give them the whole ball of yarn. Guess what?
They ain't gonna
They're
be
going to play
interested in
with
it.
it, then they're going to walk away and they're not interested. That's why
Yep.
you got to value your indifference. See how chicks got to come over here and say shit? We don't give a fuck about them. They looking for us. They looking for attention because attention's the greatest drug in their fucking world. See, they get older, we get better, and I like it. I like it like that. You know what I'm saying? I like the fact that at 40, I don't look my age, but a lot of women at 40, they look 50.
Yep. That
What was it
hard
Chris
life.
Rock said? What was it something Chris Rock said? He said, if she says she's 18, she's probably 12. If she says she's 30, she's possibly 40.
Yep.
I understand the
Hmm.
paradox of that shit.
You got to
Oh,
rub.
by the way, Solo, you said you read the Count of Monte Cristo, right?
Yeah.
I've heard
What is the greatest revenge?
living well.
A good life. Live well.
To live well. You move on. No matter what they do, you move on. You make something of yourself because you are on your own. You are focused on yours, not on what anybody else tells you to do.
Hmm.
Yeah.
You should be. You know what? Shout out to my boy Mike. He in the building. I don't know if he's working or not. If not, in about a few minutes, I'm gonna call you. Look, I gave Mike this advice: get your mind right, get your body right, get your money right, get your soul right, and everything will be all right. See, I'm gonna start this fitness thing where I'm gonna encourage men to buy some weights, buy some resistance bands, get your shit together. Don't be afraid
Yeah.
to get it. Get your money
Focus
right.
on yourself.
Focus on yourself. Start a business, black man. Even if it's a small business, at least it's yours.
Yeah.
Work, but have fun even harder once the work is done. Now, about to step out for a minute, go to this bachelor party. Any last words? We're gonna start with Namer, then who else out there? Clancy.
We
Then
got
we go to
Classy, we got Han Solo, and Salam Allah.
On solo, then okay, we're gonna go in that order. Go ahead. Last words.
Brother, thanks for having me on. As far as this shit goes, I'm like, I shouldn't be surprised, but we should be prepared to call them out in the best way we can whenever it's necessary. Otherwise, ignore them and just keep pushing. And Charles, enjoy those cigars, enjoy your liquor, and have fun with your nigga.
Woo! And don't forget to like,
Oh wait, I
share.
forgot something. Ooh yeah. I'm done.
Who's next? Who's next?
Okay, sure. I'll go ahead, man. I appreciate the time. Appreciate y'all allowing me to come up here and have a voice out here about this.
And don't forget,
I'm sorry.
don't forget to subscribe.
Oh yeah, don't forget to subscribe, man. Man, keep in touch, man. Keep staying locked with us, man. You know, folks is giving out that good information, man. Trying to better each other's lives, man. And throw a couple ones for them for me, and say they came from me too. You know what I'm saying? Let them know that. You know, I
Of
I
course.
want to be there too. I'm with it. I'm gonna live through you vicariously while you throwing ones. You know what I'm saying? So if you throw a one and it hit a chick in the face real hard, just know that energy came from me. And then I'm woo yeah.
Woo! Who's next? Anybody next for the last words?
Oh, I'll go ahead and go. First of all, I would like to say rest in peace to my University of Oklahoma alumni, Kevin Samuels. We're gonna miss you, brother. All your advice stands true, and good job on the Atlanta episode. That was beautiful and hilarious. However, I'm gonna say this to Black men. I want you to continue to take care of your health, take care of your mental status, and don't do it for any woman. Do it for yourself. Do not let any distractions keep you from your goals of staying healthy, being financial healthy, and being happy in life. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, pastors like Pastor Bryant, TD Jakes, all these other people that went at Kevin Samuels, all you have to do is take a look at their lives. Even Joker face Vivica Fox, somebody that was used to be fine. The only resume that she has left when it comes to dealing with men was looking out another man's anal cavity. I rest my case. Have a blessed day.
Woo! Like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to subscribe and come back again. Don't be a stranger.
You got it, brother.
Salam. You're
Yes,
next.
sir.
Last but not least.
Excellent advice from the brother before me. I sell tapes for the Nation of Islam. I have Muhammad Speech Continues. I've worked with Dr. Khaled, Supreme Minister.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. I worked with brothers like Dr. Khaled in his prime. I worked with Supreme Minister John Muhammad, Elijah Muhammad's blood brother, John Shabazz. I could go on and on. I sell the Muhammad Speech Continues. Go to my channel, Salam Allah Alternate Channel. Also, Supreme Minister John Muhammad. All those videos are mine. And on my Facebook, you can contact me. My number is listed. And I thank you, my brother, and I would like to be a guest again, if possible. Thank you.
Yeah, definitely. It'll be a definite. Thank you.
Wa alaikum salam. Thank you.
And trust me, come back, like, share, subscribe. Woo! We got the art man in the building.
I did. I subscribed. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all for making this a hell of a good improv. Hopefully your Saturday will be blessed and profitable or resting. Hey, y'all be safe tonight. Drink with moderation. He's a good guy. Woo! And we are out.
Woo!